here. It says we're live. It says we're live. Not sure if we are or not. But according to this, we are. Once again, technology, you know. So we're going to give this a shot. Hey, I'm David.
And I'm Brenda.
We're from OutsideOurBubble.com, and we're here live on a live stream today to try to answer questions that people might have in regards to...
Free to shoot us any questions. David's got his computer here, and we're checking things out. Looks like Bob Fox is online.
Hey, Bob.
Hi,
hey.
Bob. You're the only one here so far, it looks like.
The problem being is our data stream seems to be a little fluctuating. I'm not sure if it's actually solid or not. We can't really tell at this point, unfortunately. So we're going to give this a shot. Hey, I'm David. Yeah, we're as an IT manager, but I can't control Verizon or AT&T. To try to answer questions that people might have. See, it jumped. I saw the video jump. That kind of sucks. But anyways, it says bad. Our primary stream is not good enough to maintain smooth playback.
Yeah, it's...
What I'm going to have to do here, guys, is I'm going to have to try...
maybe switching.
I'm going to try to switch data carriers real quick. I should be able to come right back to the same stream if you can still hear me, that is. I'm not sure if you can, but we're going to... I'm going to pause this stream, and we're going to turn on... Okay, I'm going to try to broadcast. We are having technical difficulty screen. Let's see what happens there, and then we're going to quick. So.
Do you want me to...
Hey guys, we're back. We're hoping we're back. We just had to relocate and to get a better connection, hopefully. So bear with us for a second. We're going to go all the way up like that, Brenda. We'll be there in a second, guys. Okay. Now we're going to see if this is any better for us. And we'll grab a chair. We relocated to an access point closer by. And so now we're just trying to set everything back up so we can see what's going on. Because I can't see what's going on. Technology. Okay, hi. You still there? People are still there.
Yeah.
They're in their spaceship. No, we're in our shed. Right now I'm trying to get our video display so we can see it. There we go.
There.
Oh, that's better. Okay, don't touch it. Stop. Okay, so I think according to this, we're streaming and everything is happy. And if somebody can tell us that, that'd be great. Oh, I see somebody saying yup. So I'm guessing that means we got a good stream going on.
You're gonna touch the screen, aren't you?
I'm gonna touch the screen. Yeah, I'm gonna touch the screen now. Okay, so let me try doing this. And then go. Go like that. Now, boom. Okay, there. That should be working, I hope. Okay. Just had to recenter it a little bit here. Okay, we got some people here typing in, and it looks like things are working. We are so sorry for that delay. I'm kind of glad that we were able to readjust. And now if you can just let me know if you can hear us okay. Okay.
Yeah, we're just using the speaker in the camera. We didn't set up an external speaker, so...
Well, Bob, I totally appreciate that Brenda is better looking than I am, but that's not what we're here to discuss. Jeez, Bob. Okay, so sorry about that delay again. So I'm hoping everything is going good now. Audio is perfect. Thank you very much for letting us know, Bob. And it's clear and sharp, so good. So moving us closer to a 5 gigahertz access point really paid off. Seeing that the 5 gigahertz access point is inside our shed up on the roof.
Yes, we have an access point in our shed.
Yeah, and it's got a steel metal roof. Well, that didn't probably help much. Yeah, I'm the tech guy. Just remember that, yes. Okay, so what are we going to talk about? This is an open mic night. Trying to figure out, what we got going on, and I'm going to try to bring up a YouTube window here real quick so I can better off see the comments coming in. So which yeah, we suck.
Hey, I just sit here because I don't really know technology, so this is all on him.
It works when it works.
It works when it works, yes.
You know, and what can I say? I'm going to my live stream stuff. I'm trying to get on there so I can at least see what's going on. And I'm not happy. Okay, at least the stream is good, right? Shh, stop laughing at me.
I'm not laughing at you, dear. I'm laughing with you.
Well, it's funny because it says here, what to watch next. And obviously we're on the air, so it should be saying that right now that's what we should watch next.
Okay.
And it doesn't say that, so I can't find it.
Well, you just clicked on it and it came up.
Well, now I got it, yeah. So now I got to...
You got to give it a second to think.
Okay, turn the volume down. And now we are live, and I have everything. So, here we go. Okay, you only need one nerd in the family.
You're going to have to read those to me because you're at an angle.
Oh, okay. Well,
unless you move closer to me.
Okay, so we're going to start off here. Looking to buy my first coach for full time. Your thoughts on Tiffin versus Newmar versus Integra. This is from a Rick D, as you guys can see there.
Those are the top 3 that we were looking at.
Yeah, those are the top 3 that we were also looking at. Those actually, we have a blog post on this. If you go to outsideurbubble.com, Rick, you can then do a search for Now Ordered. Use the search term on outsideurbubble.com, search for Now Ordered, and you'll find a blog post describing why we chose Tiffin over Newmar and Integra. But basically what it comes down to in a nutshell is the floor plan. We chose the floor plan, and we chose Tiffin as a company or people because when we went there to visit each manufacturer directly, we felt the most comfortable with them. And so we kind of just chose the floor plan first, chose the company second, and then went from there. So it's very important. Floor plan is the most important.
Floor plan is the most important. You need to really... when you find a coach or something that you think, okay, this is the one I want to get, one of the important things that a lot of people, they get caught up in the oohs and the ahs.
Okay, you gotta wait a second.
Yeah.
Just so you know, you're about to hear all this noise in the background. That's because Mike, the campground owner, is bringing people across in a tractor ride. Let me see if we can catch this.
Everything.
Now let's see if we can catch this. Can you see that? Can you see that out there or not? So these people are about to come and howl at our wolves. We have some statues out there of wolves, and we're streaming live right now. And so there's Mike, and all these people are around the thing, and they're gonna howl at the wolves. Ow! We're live. Ow! So everybody, that's a hayride going by our site here, and this is because we have these wolves here, and these are chainsaw carvings. These are chainsaw coming from. I'm gonna head back in there, but I figured, there we go. I figured when that noise came by, I might as well show you what it was. Hope that worked out.
I saw some of it, but then you were getting blocky, so I told you to come back in.
Okay. Well, at least I listened to you. Damn it. Okay. Our connection is still running according to this. Okay, so I am, of course, still trying to adjust the freaking thing back. I shouldn't have touched it.
While David's doing that, I'll finish my sentence.
Thank you, honey.
So, you find a coach that you think is good for you for full timing, but some people get caught up in the oohs and the ahs and the colors and things like that. But what you really need to do is the floor plan and figure out what's best for you for the floor plan. Really sit at the dealership in one of these coaches and pretend to cook something. Lay on the couch and watch TV and see if the TV's in a good position. Figure out, okay, can I cook a meal in this kitchen? Can I fit all of my, believe it or not, dinner plates and stuff in there? We've been in some coaches that are just gorgeous, but they might only have 3 cabinets and they're not deep enough for a simple dinner plate. So you really need to figure out if that coach will work for you.
Yeah. Sorry about all that rigmarole. That was on me. Sorry.
Okay.
So what else we got?
So we got RVing with the Riveras. Guys, how you started? Did you sell your house and stuff or still own a house?
When we first started traveling was in 2008. We owned a house back then, and we didn't go full time until about 4 years ago in 2011. And what happened was we bought our first Class A motor coach in 2008, found ourselves traveling 6 to 7 months out of the year, and basically said, well, geez, we enjoy being on the road more than at home. Why do we have all this overhead?
Yeah, and us being from upstate New York, we didn't want any more part of being in the winter with the snow.
No. So that's why we traveled so much. And basically, after finding ourselves on the road that long of the year, it didn't make sense to keep all the overhead of the house. So we went from 4,200 or square feet to 400 square feet. So yeah, but we've enjoyed it very much so. Obviously, we're still on the road like this. We actually haven't even discussed finding another house at this point.
No, and we don't really have any plans as to when we're going to stop or if we're going to stop. We just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah. So what else we got?
We have, Bob Fox wants to see us go on a solar catamaran.
We have no interest in that, Bob. Thank you very much. Wrong group. Someone else. Next. Wrong blog. There's people that do that. Have fun.
Yeah.
You can. No, thank you.
Chris Blountz is saying hello. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Chris. How you doing, Chris? Chris is a good friend of mine from a long time ago. In fact, he used to operate a website called DBS Talk, which I took over from him, and he still works on it with me. And he checks in on us as we travel and is obviously connected to our blog. So in regards to being connected to our YouTube channel, subscribes, and he jumps in whenever he sees things going on, I guess.
Somebody wants to know what our next adventures are going to be.
Well, we leave here mid-October. We're going to be... We really don't know.
We haven't, last year when we left here, because this is our seasonal site, so we usually leave mid-October.
Yeah.
But last year we did Moab, we did...
Go ahead.
Sedona, Arizona. We had a bunch of places we wanted to hit, and we did that. This year, we don't really have a lot of places we want to hit. We are just going to enjoy the road and the traveling and see where it takes us. We know we're going to be in Arizona in December and January. We have our big OOber Fest scheduled for mid-January. You can find out all the information on our blog about that. Hopefully, if you're in the area, you come on down and join us and have a good time.
This thing is not listening to me. By the way, what you're seeing flashing on the screen is actually one camera, and I'm using it's called Mevo, and allows me to basically set shots and stuff like that, which I wasn't able to set beforehand because of our technical difficulties, and I was just trying to set up, and that's why the camera, as you can see, is moving around and stuff, which it's my fault, not Brenda's.
No, technical person, not a technical person.
So in any case, on my keypad here, it allows me to set different camera angles and stuff like that, and then switch between them. And I just haven't set it up, and I was just trying to, and of course screwing things up as I go. Next question, please, on RVing.
Have you ever considered an off-road rig?
Oh, no.
Not really.
No, we like our heated floors and a dishwasher and full-size shower.
Well, that's funny because our family, sometimes, and people who full-time RV get this all over the time with their family and friends, but when are you going to stop camping, or where are you camping now? And we're like,
we don't camp.
We don't camp. This is our house. We have heated floors and a dishwasher, so we're not technically camping.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
No, not that there's anything wrong with that whatsoever, and it does. And we don't mean to sound, this is our house. Just like you would buy stuff for your house, we wanted our house to have certain things.
Yeah.
And if we're going to live in it, we wanted to be comfortable with how we wanted to be comfortable, and that's a different level for everybody. And to us, we kind of enjoy these things, so of course we're going to have in it what we can.
Yeah. Somebody wants to know when we're going to be in the San Antonio area.
Closest we're going to be.
Yeah, closest we're going to be is Burleson, Texas. Sometimes we hit Fredericksburg because we really enjoy Fredericksburg and the hill country. But we don't have any plans to get down to San Antonio this year or anytime soon. We've been to San Antonio. We've done the Riverwalk and all of that. So don't really have a need to go back that we see.
No, not at all. We yeah, it's crowded. We find it to be very crowded out there. So we really don't. Well, not that it's a bad area. It's not a bad area by any means. It's just hectic for us, and we don't like it to be as hectic.
Yeah.
So the closest we'll be is as Brenda said, Quartzsite, Arizona, probably. But then again, things might change. We may.
No, that's Arizona.
Arizona. I'm sorry, Quartzsite, Arizona. What did I say?
You said closest will be is Quartzsite, Arizona, but he's talking about San Antonio, Texas.
Oh God, that's right. Oh God.
We're going to be in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and then Fredericksburg, possibly.
Okay, you're right. I'm wrong.
That's why I'm the navigator.
Okay, so we'll be in Burleson, Texas. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. We'll be there a little while. What else we got?
Oh, here's a very good question. How do you handle health care?
That's a tough one.
It's different for everybody and based on your age too. I mean, some RVers are over 65, so they have Medicare, and it's not as much of an issue. They might have retired from a company where they have health care, in their retirement. For us, we're self-employed, and therefore we have to buy our own health insurance. One of the key things is to find health insurance that is good for nationwide.
Yes. We were lucky enough to be able to keep our same doctors that we had on the plan that we have. So every year when we come back to this area, of course, we go see our doctors and do checkups and what have you. And because of the plan we chose, it allowed us, they were in our network, so it allowed us to keep that. Oh, I see you were cutting me. It was you. I thought I was cutting our heads off. Okay. Sorry. Sorry, that was Brenda had scrolled the screen. I thought our heads were cut off on the video, so
we're good.
I was trying to fix it. Anyways,
do we make planned stops at RV parks for hookups on our travels south?
Not usually. When we're traveling to get somewhere, like when we head to Burleson from here, we'll probably just do Walmarts. If we're going to go directly to Burleson, for example, we'll probably just do Walmarts all the way there and save the money, because to us, unless we can pull in somewhere at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and then to be able to see the area, it doesn't
make sense
to spend $40 on a night just to park and plug in, because we're not going to dump or anything. We don't need to at that point. And so we just kind of Walmart it or whatever. But if we don't have to be anywhere by any certain time or whatever, we might just decide to stop somewhere for 2 or 3 days, and then we'll find a campsite to do that in.
But on the other hand, if there's someplace interesting between here and there that we might want to spend a few days, then yes, by all means, we'll find a campground that has full hookups and we'll stay for a few days and check out the area.
Yeah.
Do you all have issues with your rig length and your tow vehicle exceeding the on-highway overall length per the state you're traveling in or across?
No, never have gotten talked to, touched, stopped, pulled over, anything like that. So we see a lot of people triple towing, which we can't believe.
That scares me.
That scares us that people do that.
Which it is legal in certain states, but other states it's not.
Right. So we're about 64 feet long, I believe it is, when we're going down the road with our with our Jeep attached to us. There was I think I saw a question fly by. Do we have kids? No, we do not have kids. We've been married 23 years. I said that. Yeah, 23.
Very good.
And we do not have children, which of course is one of the reasons we can do this without too much issue. And seeing that we both work online with the websites that I operate, it allows us the freedom to be anywhere basically, because we're not locked down to a 9-to-5 job where we have to be somewhere. We're virtual. So as long as we have internet, we can keep tabs on things and do what we need to do.
How do you plan your route and where you'll be staying and how far in advance? We plan our route basically And Jello.
And Jello.
Like we said, from here we know one of our stops is going to be Burleson, Texas. So we just find a route that we like. A lot of times it's the same route over and over again, so we might try and find an alternative route to make it a little more interesting. And just look at the atlas and look at Google Maps and see what's in between here or there. And if there's something interesting we want to stop at, then a lot of times I'll look at Google Maps for campgrounds and look at the overhead view to see if we can fit, look at reviews, and go from there.
Yeah, it's as she mentioned, we make plans in Jello because we tend to change plans as we travel. And if we're heading somewhere and then Brenda sees something on an atlas or on a Google Maps that looks interesting or cool, she might just say, hey, let's go over here and spend some time here. And we just change plans and change directions and off we go. And as far as finding campgrounds, we usually don't have an issue unless it's around a holiday period. If it's around holidays or anything like that, then it becomes more of a big issue to make sure you can find a space.
One of the things that still gets us to this day, because we full-time, is sometimes when we're on the road, the holidays escape us. In the sense that we don't realize a holiday might be coming up in a few weeks, and we find ourselves scrambling for a campground. Yeah. And we found ourselves parked in a Walmart parking lot on holidays because we just can't find anything.
What are you going to do?
That's life.
And when you're 45 feet long, that sometimes becomes an issue, but very, very rarely. See our video on is a 40-foot plus coach, motor coach too big? We did a video on that, and very rarely does it become an issue. I just see Chris Blond here. He said, if we're in Fredericksburg, let him know he'll come visit. We love Fredericksburg. We really, really like Fredericksburg a lot. It's blown up over the last number of years. We actually looked at property to buy about 5 years ago in Fredericksburg, I think it was, and now the property values up there have exploded. Really nice area. We really, really like Fredericksburg, so we hope to make it back there, Chris.
Somebody said, do we see advantage like they do in leaving in an RV with all the crazy weather that's been happening?
We've never really had to do that at this point. We've been lucky enough that the places we've been at, we haven't had weather. Well, we've had weather come up, but too fast for us to be able to outrun it.
Yeah.
And that's only happened a few times.
Yeah, and in that instance, we grab the cats in their carrier, we grab what we can, and we go. Usually, like we were in Alabama, we went to the bathrooms, which are a cement building, and just stay there and hunker down, and it was all good.
Yeah. I don't know if you can hear that chirping in the background, but that's a chipmunk out there sending an alarm like there's a cat around, so that's their emergency alarm going off, basically. They're annoying sometimes as heck.
Nina wants to know, where do you go when an argument happens? When we fight. Do we fight?
We really. I guess that's why we're.
I guess that's really why we're on 23 years, because I don't know. We haven't really had any major fights, and if we have, disagreements, then we've learned to talk them out and move on.
I'm trying to think back, and I can't think of when we really had a fight. I guess we're just lucky in that way, and you would expect with such close quarters that things would come down, but even when we had our large stick in our bricks house, we were normally in the same room all the time. Even though we had 2 separate offices, we ended up moving our offices into the same room and using one office. So
crazy.
So to us, it's never been a thing, I guess. So we're lucky in that way. And then,
however, we do have this nice shed area now that's enclosed and it has roof and everything. And what you don't see behind you is there's a big 10-foot wide movie screen. So David will be very comfortable out here if I ever do kick him out.
Yeah, and this little love seat behind us here turns into a bed. So, and I do have air conditioning and heat in here too. So
yeah, we just added that this year.
So I thought ahead, but we've never had issues. So we're lucky in that regard. I guess you would say blessed us to some degree. I just like her.
I'll keep you.
You'll keep me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Next.
Bob wants to know if you have any new drones for this travel year.
No. I'm getting droned out. I mean, the last one I bought was the Mavic Pro, and I still have that today, and I love.
Still a really good one.
Yeah, so I really, really, really like that drone, and so there's no reason to buy another one. I say I'm getting droned out because people are just getting turned off by all this drone crap, I guess. And it used to be something cool because when I first started doing it, I had to build them. And literally nobody knew what they were at that point. And so the video footage I was able to collect and shoot and share across the country was awesome because not everybody could do it. Now you go to a freaking hobby store or toy store, and for that matter, and pick up a drone or a UAV that you can just throw up in the air and take video on, and off you go. I guess the only big plus I have going for me is I'm also an editor. So the video footage that I shoot and display tend to be on the better side only because I know how to edit.
Yeah.
Compared to some of the crap we see out there. Sorry, it's been a turn off for me lately. It really has.
Well, there's always somebody that ruins it for everybody else, kind of thing, and
yeah, and
that happens.
And then you also get nervous. You don't want to disturb others and things. And yes, I know DJI just came out with a new drone that's 60% quieter than the Mavic Pro, so that was of interest, but not for $1,000.
Yeah. Someone wants to know if we'll be in the Phoenix area this year or only in Quartzsite.
Well, we're close to Phoenix. We'll be.
Well, we stay at an RV park, an RV resort that's just...
Don't say what it is. Don't. Everybody will go there and will ruin it for us.
It's easy to get into right now because that whole Phoenix area, as you know, with the snowbirds, it's hard to find places. I won't mention it. But
you know where we are. If you know anything about
yeah.
us and you followed our travels, you know where we stay and on.
We did a blog post.
I know. I know they can figure it out.
It's just east of Phoenix. It's close. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. But anyways, that is as close as we'll probably be to Phoenix.
How long do we stay in Southwoods before we move? This is our seasonal site, so we're usually here
April,
mid-April
to October. But since it's our site, this is ours basically. We don't own it. The Campground owns it, but it's us. It's our site. If we leave here, they can't rent it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Any case, so it gives us the freedom to be able to go and come from here as we please. So we might head to Vermont or we might head to Maine or something like that and be gone a couple weeks, but at least we always have a place to come back to. But this summer we didn't go anywhere. We just kind of stayed put. We've been having a little lull in some of our travels, and it's not to save money or anything. It's just because sometimes you just like to stay put for some time and just relax and whatever.
And be around family and friends and just hang out.
But
enjoy the summer.
We say that right now, but as soon as we start hitting the road, it's like, oh, where do you want to go now?
Yeah. They must have missed this. They said, are you guys retired or are you still working?
Semi-retired. I founded a website back in 1999 called AVS Forum, stands for Audio Video Science. It grew to be one of the largest online community for audio video enthusiasts, and we sold it in October of 2011. But besides that, we have a few other websites that we still own and operate, and so that just makes some residual income and what have you. So we call ourselves semi-retired.
Yeah, they're all home theater related.
Yeah.
That's one of our passions.
We make no money from outside our bubble. We make no money from helping people with RVing lifestyle. We make no money from any of that. So
all the products that you see that we test or do reviews on, we buy because we had a need for them.
Yeah.
And then we're like, hey, let's do a review on it. And quite honestly, it could be good or bad. We have some out there that didn't quite live up to.
I will say one product was sent to us, and that was the fire starter. And that was sent to us asking us if we would do a review on it, and I said we will, but if it's good or bad, it's going to go online. We're not gonna play favorites.
Yeah.
The other reviews, everything we bought, we'll only review stuff and put things online if it's positive. If we find that it's something we feel is positive for the RVer, then that we have bought and used, then we'll tell you guys about it. So just be assured of that. We don't take product and just run through them and give a good or bad and give impressions that we like something when we don't or don't even use it because we spend our own money on it. We do not make money doing, doing these videos, doing the blog posts, they're for us. We don't do it for a living. Other bloggers that are out there in the RV industry are RV
or in any
blogosphere
yeah.
or whatever. That's what they do for a living. They do it professionally. That's how they live on the road. Is
a lot of people quit their jobs and that's what they do.
Yeah. And so you gotta.
That's not us.
Yeah, it's not us. So you gotta weigh, that between what some of the stuff that you see and some of the stuff you don't. But it's all good information as long as it's coming from the right place and the right heart.
Well, and there's the facts to back it up, like, if something needs a temperature difference, between this product or whatever, like.
Yeah. There's been a number of posts that we've seen online. Somebody brought to my attention, hey, what do you think of this? And I look at that and I just want to scream, no! They're telling you misinformation. But I don't do that.
No.
But anyways.
Do you think it's a good idea to buy an RV lot?
We don't. That's our personal opinion.
I think it would depend on where the RV lot is.
It depends on what your needs are and what your wants are. I mean, to us, no. I would rather lease a place like this seasonally than to buy it outright and then have to worry about it selling it later if I needed to.
Then you have maintenance costs.
You got maintenance fees, all that stuff comes into play. Not that it's a bad thing. A lot of people do it and it works for their lifestyle.
Yeah.
And if that's what they want, then so be it.
We have lots of friends who have their own sites,
and they love it. And but to us, that's not something that we see as a cost effective way of living. That how we currently live.
Nina's looking between an Integra Anthem 44-foot and a Newell bus. What's our insight into these two?
Hard to say. How's the floor plans? I mean, that all comes down to floor plan. It has to fit you, Nina.
Yeah.
The floor plan has to fit you. If you what you want to do yourself a favor. Go into each one of these RVs if the owner, since they're used, or the dealer will allow you to, stay in it for at least 6 hours. Not kidding. Pretend you're cooking. Pretend you're watch TV. Lay on the couch like you normally would. Get in the shower with your clothes on. Don't take a shower. and pretend you're using the shower. I'm talking literally. Stay in the coach for 6 hours and pretend it's your home and see how you feel. Because the floor plan is the key. You don't ever want to buy a motor coach, and we know many people who have done this. They ooh and ah, look at this, and they buy it, and then they start to travel in it or start to live in it, and then they realize it really doesn't fit their lifestyle.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, why do they ever buy a TV that's over there when I'm always sitting over here, or the floor plan, this way or that way? So 6 hours sounds like it's a weird thing to say, but think about it. I mean, if you can stay in it 6 hours and not have an issue, or, and work out the floor plan and see how you would put things, where you would store things, how you would pull them out, how would you use them, things like that, that's half the battle. So in regards to which one of those RVs, I have no clue. Almost said. I have no clue. As far as the two different companies, they're both good companies.
They have their pluses and minuses. Yeah. Just like every...
Newell, I can say, is a solid built bus. They're expensive. Newells are expensive buses, especially the new ones. The Integras are just regular manufactured buses, just like the Tiffins, the Monacos, the Newmars and what have you. But, it all comes down to what you want and what your needs are.
Bob wants to know if we have followed and still follow the winds.
Followed them for a very short time when we were RVing, then found out that they do this for a living, and then we stopped following.
They have a whole production company.
They are a production company.
Yeah.
They're that's what they used to do for a living, and they took it on the road. And once we discovered that they do a great job, great videos, but when we found out that's what they do for a living and that's how they're making their money, it changed it a little bit for us because we like to talk RVer to RVer. Now the Winds have done the RV thing, and of course now they're on to catamarans.
And Bob's the one on the catamaran.
Yeah, so that then after they're done with that, where they move on next, I don't know. But once they're great people. They're really great people. But
and they have great information.
And they have good information, as long as it's not paid information. I guess that's the only way I can describe it. But they're really, really good people, and I liked some of the stuff they produced. But it just, we RV already. We don't really read a lot of other bloggers. We do. We have a number of lists that we check on once in a while, and we've met up with the people and good people. Technomania, for example, wonderful people. And if you're looking for mobile internet stuff or Wi-Fi stuff and want help with that, they're really the ones you want to go to. And they have
a lot of good information.
Yeah, and they research the hell out of it, and they have the connections that we don't have and we don't care to make because it's not what we do, but it's what they do. So if you're really looking for the most up-to-date, what's the best data plan, things like that, check out technomania.com, or actually their website for RVing is...
Mobile RV Internet?
Mobile RV Internet, yeah. So check that out if you're looking for basically mostly mobile stuff. I can do Wi-Fi stuff all day long. I put them in at parks for fun. It just gives me something to do. Any case, off subject, sorry.
Red Bear Alaska. Hello from Alaska. Looking forward to night jams. Are we going to be doing a live one tonight with Lake Effect?
We're going to try. We have to actually. That's why we got to end this broadcast at 5 so I can start getting ready for tonight's performance. For those of you who don't know or haven't been following, I play a cajon drum, which is a box drum of Peruvian descent, and I do pickup gigs around the country as we travel. And I found a local band here called Lake Effect, which I've been having a blast with recently. And tonight we're performing at a place called Bella Pasta. It's the first time Bella Pasta has ever allowed live music, and I happen to get that set up. And so we're gonna see. We tried to do a broadcast last night, but it didn't work out because we didn't have the data coverage we needed to do it, because it's all done over cellular. So, and the restaurant doesn't have a data connection that we can use. But we'll try. We'll see. Check it out. If so, it'll be 8 p.m. Eastern time or thereabouts.
Yep. Somebody wants to know, is it expensive to lease a place like ours in Southwoods?
No, at Southwoods it's not. Southwoods is what, 17?
They're open 6 months out of the year, so it's seasonal, and it's just over $1,700 for the entire 6 months.
Plus electric.
Not a month. Not $1,700 a month, but $1,700 for all 6 months.
Now consider
plus electric.
Now consider where you are. We're in upstate New York by Lake Ontario, out in the middle of cornfields.
Yeah.
The closest place to us is about 20 minutes for groceries if you want a real grocery store. 20, and then everything else is 30 minutes around us. But we can get everywhere we need to be because everything is expressway driving.
Except, important to us, 1 mile down the road is a really good pizza shop.
Yes. We got lucky. Now, if we only had a Chinese place 1 mile down the road also, we would be in trouble. We would be in trouble. But we were lucky enough to have a good pizza place 1 mile down the road, and that's awesome.
It's all about location, though, and what they're going to charge.
Yeah, it's all location. It is also, it doesn't hurt that this place is a family-oriented campground, which means they want to be affordable enough for families to be able to come in and have an enjoyable weekend. So that's how they were brought up, camping and things like that. And so when they bought this campground, they wanted to be able to give that back. They bought it as a business. Don't get me wrong; they make money and they make a living doing this. That's for sure.
But
however,
not in it
it's not. Yeah, it's not their main. That's not really why they bought it. Well, they bought it for a business. That actually is wrong. But they don't. The rates are what they are only because they want it to be affordable for families, which we think is just wonderful. Yeah. And one of the reasons that I chose to put the Wi-Fi in this park free of charge, because they really were about people and family.
Yeah.
And I felt bad that a company had come in and given them quotes, and it was really taking advantage of them.
We find that all over the country. I mean, these mom and pop campgrounds, they don't know about technology a lot of times, and so, as David said, they get taken advantage of because these companies come in and they overcharge them big time.
Yeah, so we got lucky in regards to that too, because after I did, first off, when I offered to do it and do it for free, they were just kind of looked at each other like, nobody does that.
They're like, what's the catch?
What's the catch? But I went ahead and did it. I mean, I ripped out their entire system that they had, which was basically non-existent, and then we went on. So, great people, great place, and that's what the pricing, it depends on where you are in the country. Anyways, I'll stop there.
Yeah. Bob was talking about Technomedia and how they survived Irma because if you don't know about Technomedia, they just got a boat, and they're doing the Great Loop but they're only going to be doing that in the summertime. In the wintertime, they're going back in their RV. So.
But they made it. Their boat was in the Keys and survived. So that's good news.
Yeah. Don't really have any other questions yet.
No other questions.
No. Anybody else have any other questions?
Is there anybody online out there? Hello?
We still got about 15 minutes left.
I can play with my camera. Let's see. Now watch this. I can move it around. Ooh. Bring it back. I can cut to people. Cut to me, for example. Hi. And then I can cut to Brenda. You got to look at the camera first. So I cut to Brenda. And then I can cut to wide again. So it's really cool what this thing can do. But anyways.
Somebody says they're not currently RVing, but they will hopefully want to very soon. They appreciate all our advice.
Well, that's one of the reasons we started outside our bubble. We started it because in 2008, there really wasn't much information out there. When we first started to travel, we had to learn it all. I mean, there was no information online. So we decided, to basically, we wanted to help others with it. And so we started outside our bubble and to hopefully give people the encouragement, that's the word, the encouragement to get on out there and do something, get outside their own comfort zone and bubble. Yeah, exactly. So the RVing videos are helpful because people then, at least they have information coming from people who have been there, done that, and are telling you RVer to RVer or RVer to wannabe RVer, information from being there and doing that, if you will.
Yeah. And
got the T-shirt, or in this case, the hat.
Oh, here's a good question. Do we get local channels with Dish Network, and if so, what did you do? Yeah, RVing. Local television is important, and obviously you can get it terrestrial from over-the-air antennas, and most of the parks offer cable TV too, but the cable TV sometimes just isn't that great in parks. So we used Dish Network, and the reason we went with Dish Network over Direct, excuse me, thank you. The reason we went with Dish Network over Direct TV is because we had a dome at the time, and if you have a dome on your RV, in-motion dome, you cannot get high definition on DirecTV. The LNBs on those do not support the transponders that they have on the DirecTV satellites, and so Dish Network is really your only choice for high definition television if you have a dome. Now, if you have a Traveler dish that comes up that has all the LNBs on it, you can get DirecTV or Dish Network. But to answer your question, the great thing about, and you could probably do this with DirecTV, we just don't have experience. When we get somewhere into a new area, we just call Dish Network and give them our new zip code of where we are, and they basically hit our box so we can get the locals. Now, so we don't abuse that privilege, we don't do that every time we move. Because if you're moving a lot, it's just not good to keep calling them and asking them to do that. So if we're going to be somewhere for a little while, then we'll call them up and, of course, have them hit the box with the new zip code. And also, some of these footprints from the satellite transponders, the spot beams, are so large that you can travel 3 or 4 hours and still have the locals of where you just were. So you may not have locals, but at least you have something, that you're able to still get in the spot beam without having to call them. Hope that helps. What kind of camera do you have?
Are you talking about the camera we're using? I'm guessing this is called a Mevo, M-E-V-O. So getmevo.com.
And John wants to know how you like your Mevo.
Well, I'm still getting used to it, as you can see, John. Still getting used to it. We used it for last night's broadcast for my dad, and we have used it at the bot. If you go look at the Bot Lot Camp Jam, which was last Saturday, a week ago, we streamed for 2 hours and 12 minutes straight, and it was awesome. Yeah. It really was. Check it out. If you haven't seen that video, it's the Bot Lot Camp Jam featuring Lake Effect. It's 2 hours and 12 minutes. Skip through it. Lots of different types of music in there, and we had a freaking blast. We did. We really did. We had just over 100 people here at the campsite, here at our lot. So it really was a blast.
Yeah.
But so the camera did quite well, and we're using it right now, obviously. Once I get used to using the functions on it, I think it'll come in a lot more handy. It's quick to set up and quick to deploy if we need to.
Real quick, getting back to the local channels. It's not just East Coast and West Coast, it's actual local channels, which is important when you need to get weather updates and stuff.
Yeah, DirecTV offers what they call distant networks. And what it is you can get an East Coast or a West Coast feed. That you'll keep that feed all the time as you travel. Understand only that is only in standard definition that I'm aware of at this time, at least it used to be. And so, for example, we'd be here in New York, and we would be getting San Diego or LA channels or something like that. So it would really throw off your watching times or your DVR times. You got to be really careful with that.
Well, then if you're in an area that has severe weather, you're not going to get those weather alerts. You're going to need that local weather.
And also what I do is, since I have, I also make sure on my Dish Network box, my hopper, I have a terrestrial tuner too. So I can actually just pull the stations in by my terrestrial tuner that's in my box and get local channels that way. If I don't, have them update our spot beam. Because then what will happen is in the program guide, it'll merge the satellite TVs with the local terrestrial stations, so everything's on one guide. And all you got to do is run a scan for them, and it automatically pulls down the information, including the guide information, which is great.
Somebody wants to know, what do we do to receive mail? It's kind of a two-sided question. One is we receive mail because we have a mail forwarding service that's out of Florida, but the flip side of that is that's also our legal domicile address. That's what our IRS taxes goes through, and registration for our vehicles. Not all mail forwarding services can be your legal domicile, so that's important. But we have one out of Florida, so we are Florida residents. And it's basically a service where it all goes into this box, kind of like a P.O. box. And the service that they offer, they scan our envelope so we can physically log in and see what has come into our mailbox and whether we need it or not right away.
Best part is they automatically junk all the spam.
Yes.
All the junk mail, they automatically junk.
All the junk mail, yeah.
Bye-bye. Don't see it anymore.
That's nice.
Yes.
So, quite honestly, there's not a lot of mail that comes in anymore. Everything's done online nowadays, but there is some mail that comes in. And then once a month, wherever we are, we just have it sent to the campground that we're at.
Yeah. So we got about 10 minutes left here, people. 10 minutes. 10-minute warning.
When towing our car, which towing equipment have we tried or stayed with?
We tried and stayed with Blue Ox.
Yeah.
For our towing plate and our towing hitch. They're one of the standards. I mean, they've been around forever. They're a very good company to work with, and the product just seems solid. I've never had an issue with my Blue Ox tow bar. As far as supplemental braking system is very important, by the way. Very important.
And we know this how?
We used to have one of those robot braking systems, the ones you have to put on the floor and connect to your brake pedal, and then when it senses that you're braking through inertia, it puts the brake on from a little compressor it has built in. Well, we had one of those at first, and then how we discovered that you really do need a supplemental braking system.
And that they
work is when we went to stop one time, we're getting off on an expressway, and we were coming up to our exit, and I started applying the brakes like I normally would apply them, after driving it for a very long time. I would get the feel of when, you need to brake. Well, I noticed I was pushing harder and harder and harder on the pedal to stop. Well, that's because the stupid robot thing stopped working and wasn't braking the tow vehicle, and that 5,200 pounds was pushing on us from the inertia that it had, and literally, so I didn't want to smoke the brakes, it pushed us right past the exit.
Yeah, we weren't going to risk our coach or ourselves trying to smoke the brakes and make the exit. We just went to the next one.
Yeah, not to mention applying brakes very hard. Things in an RV tend to shift forward. So
yeah, that would be.
it literally pushed us past the exit versus us having to apply harder and harder pressure. So we went to the Air Force One braking system. Best braking system I ever used. If you have a Class A diesel motor coach that has an air braking system,
Yeah.
you tie right into the same. You tie right into your coach's air system. And
that sounds scary.
it sounds scary, but it's not. It's DOT
It's not.
approved, so don't worry about that.
Yeah.
And it's proportional. So as I apply the brakes in the coach, it applies the same proportional braking to my tow vehicle. So therefore, I'm literally braking both vehicles at the same time and at the same rate. Some of them are mechanical that are out there where they when you start to brake, the inertia from the car pushes in on it and basically pulls a lever that pulls the brake pedal. That will actually still push you further because remember, in order to pull on that lever, that vehicle has to be pushing on your coach for that lever to be pulled to apply the brakes. So the physics is really weird on that one. But anyways, that's what we use, the Air Force One braking system.
That's why he's the techie. Do we use a Roku?
No. We don't use a Roku. A few reasons for that is because in most RV parks, streaming is a no-no, and you usually don't have the bandwidth for streaming in RV parks. And if you're using data services like Verizon or AT&T or whoever, obviously data services, you'll find yourself quickly, going past your limits with video streaming, and at that point they'll slow you down and what have you. So no, we do not use Roku. We do not use streaming TVs. We do not use things like that. We do record all of our shows, however.
Yep. Are we using the Wi-Fi in the park?
Wait a minute. Don't get me wrong. We do stream on occasion, but we'll do it on our own devices because, like I said, usually the RV parks, you don't have enough bandwidth in the RV park to do that. Sorry, go ahead. What was the question? Yeah, I'm done. I love you.
With the Mevo camera, are we using the Wi-Fi in the park? If so, what's our upload speed? Or are we using our own data or our phone?
Right now we're using AT&T. The AT&T Jetpack is tied into our coaches. We run our own private network inside of our motor coach with 32 odd devices connected to it currently. So everything's connected to our motor coach, including the Mevo camera. And right now AT&T is providing this stream. Currently, to answer the streaming question, we're currently streaming at 3.4 megabits per second to do this video stream. Now, be aware, compression nowadays is great. So 3.4 to transmit a 720p image is pretty good. But that's because a lot of the objects around us aren't moving, so it doesn't have to retransmit those pixels, all the backdrops. But if you have a lot of movement going on, you're going to use a lot more data going out because it has to transmit every one of those pixels. That's how compression works. So all this red screen behind us doesn't move, and so it doesn't have to retransmit those pixels. So we're using very little data in comparison to what we could be if this was live action with a lot of activity in the background. But to answer your question, 3.4 megabits to do this stream. I'm stopped now. I get carried away. Sorry.
When he gets that techie, my eyes start to glass over, so just forgive me.
Sorry to those out there. How many are out there? 42 people out there. Hey!
Dean says that you can get the Air Force One braking system on Amazon.
Yeah, you can get a lot of things on Amazon. In fact, Amazon is an RVer's best friend.
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. Yeah, Amazon Prime is an RVer's best friend. In case you didn't hear me, let me say it again. Amazon Prime is an RVer's best friend. The reason that is that if you don't have Amazon Prime or you're not an RVer or whatever and you're going to RV, get Amazon Prime. For goodness sakes, get Amazon Prime. The reason being is you will find yourself getting somewhere and you're going to need something. And Amazon Prime delivers in 2 days. You all know this by now, I would imagine.
Some of the big cities, you can get it almost immediately or next day really quick.
Yes. So, if you need something, there's not anything for the most part you can't find on Amazon these days that you might need, which means you can get it within 2 days or less. And that's important when you travel because you don't know where you're going to be and you just give them the new address, you just add it to your list of addresses in Amazon and off you go. So, there you go.
And most campgrounds that we've come across, I think that very few and rare, most of them accept packages for RVers. So, you don't have to worry about where do I have this shipped to. Just ask the campground office and most of the times they'll accept it for you.
I was laughing at that comment right there.
It looks like you're camping.
It looks like you're camping, yeah, because it looks like we're in a tent. I know. This is a shed that we built on our lot, and this is an outdoor area, 12 by 12 area that we enclose with vinyl that we use for various functions, and this is one of them today.
Someone wants to know if we've ever RV'd in other countries, like Australia or anywhere.
No, other than Canada. And we've gone as far as Newfoundland, which is one of our favorite trips ever.
We got to get back there.
Oh, we got to go back. We took our motor coach across on a ferry, and
that was in 2011.
Yeah, it wasn't with this coach. It was with our other coach back in 2011. It was one of the best trips ever. And basically, when I die, and if they won't let me into heaven, send me to Newfoundland.
Newfoundland, to me, reminds me a lot of Alaska. So if you've been to Alaska, we've been to Alaska, but only on cruise ships.
Not the same.
It's not the same, I know.
And I know we should go in the RV, but the horror stories of riddled chips on the coaches and stuff.
Yeah, that kind of scares us.
Yeah, if we do that, we're probably going to rent an RV.
Yeah.
In any case, we're just about out of time here, guys. We
Yeah, this is our shed, aka David's doghouse. Hey, he is not gonna suffer out here. He's got air conditioning. Look, he's got heat.
Okay.
He's got a 10-foot wide movie screen.
So there's my movie screen. There's air conditioning up there, which I painted. I you can't see because I used gaffer tape to make it black. It's full surround sound all the way around, and the projector's back there. So yeah.
And what you don't see is inside the shed. We have a freezer and a fridge, so it's full of food and drinks. So he is not gonna suffer.
And a wine fridge.
Yeah.
So in any case, we're gonna see there's people stopping out there. Hi, people. We see you. People do this all the time. They stop to see our wolves. It's great. Are you watching us live online? See, they can't even see us. They don't even know where we are. They can't see us in the shed.
I love it.
We're talking to you over a speaker. We're not here.
Here,
oh my gosh.
I'll go talk.
They're gonna. No, you're gonna. We have to end the broadcast.
I'll just say hi.
Brenda's gonna have to go say hi, I guess. So you're stuck with me. These people. What happens is people. They come by our lot, which is so nice, and at the end of the road, we have these wolf statues, which I showed you guys earlier in the broadcast, and people stop to see the wolf statues, the carvings, because they're 7 feet tall. I mean, that's a 7 foot tall chainsaw carving. So in any case,
I had to get up and just tell them that we weren't here because we've got windows, but you can't see in the windows.
Yeah, they're screened windows, as you can see, but they can't see in. We can see out. So it's anyways, it's all fun. So guys, listen, hey, we really appreciate you guys joining us today. We'll do more these live streams if you like it. Let us know if you do. Please comment. Let us know. The live stream will become part of the our OOber chat sessions that we'll leave online. So even though you're commenting here with the live chat, those live chat things do not get left in the comment area on YouTube. I don't know why they don't do that. I think they should, but they don't. So after the broadcast is done, YouTube has to compress it and put it all together, and then it'll be up on our page automatically. And if you want to come back and let us know that you enjoyed the chats, we'd really appreciate it, because if you do enjoy them, we'll do more of them.
Yeah, and if you like what we do online, whether
subscribe.
It's the chats or anything, there is a subscribe button, so you'll be alerted next time we go live or next time David uploads a video.
Yeah, and so yeah, there's a subscribe button on this, and we also don't forget our travel blog, www.outsideourbubble.com. Do you really have to say www anymore? No. outsideourbubble.com, and you can subscribe to that, so whenever we do a new blog post, you'll get a notice that a new blog post has been uploaded.
And we're on Facebook too, so feel free to check us out on Facebook if you want. And you know, if we don't friend you, it's because we don't recognize your name possibly. So
or we don't like you. Oh no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Shoot us a private message and just let us know that you're not spam. You're really a fan of our channel and you're trying to connect with us. That's all.
Yeah. Sorry about all the movement of the camera there. I was just trying to rearrange it so we can end this broadcast. See, like a nice shot of us and stuff. Anyways.
Our elbows. That's nice.
I know. In any case, I don't know how to fix it. You can see me trying to fix it there. Anyways, that's all part of the new software of the camera that I'm messing with, the Mevo camera. Anyways, guys, I'm David.
And I'm Brenda.
And we're from OutsideOurBubble.com asking you, when's the last time you got outside your bubble? You did it again. You went like that.
I know. I stopped myself.
Okay. Anyways, that's it for the broadcast, guys. Take care. Keep safe. It's been nice talking to you.
Bye.
Bye.